What's up, y'all? My name's Cameron. This is Power Inheriting the People. Welcome my brother Hayden. Say what's up, Hayden.
What's up, everybody?
So I don't know if y'all know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. But for those who don't, Hayden is an Operation Wise Dome member. He's been in Operation Wise Dome from the very beginning of Operation Wise Dome.
Hey, I'm learning too, you know. So so I was there last night. I only got about 2 hours of sleep yesterday, so I was kind of dying. I got back, I was like, oh man, this is, oh boy. He had this dude on the iPad or whatever it was, and I thought it was amazing because he's there and I was laughing. He looks like a guy out of Office Space, and he has this tie out, and he's got a beer in his hand, and he looks like he just came back from fucking war, right? And it was the funniest thing in the world. And he's like, I did 2.5 hours in a hearing. And then I see this guy looking like fucking, what's his face, the main character from Office Space with this shit, this beer. And he's like, yeah, I had a hearing and I deposed this cop for an hour. And I'm like, damn, I'm about ready to go bust in my own fucking windows, bro. I swear to God. And he's just like, yeah, and he was just like totally, coming down off the high of being so fucking terrified and so fucking excited. And I was just blown away because this guy's how new to this?
Say that again?
How new is he to this?
Not even, I guess, 3 months for Hayden?
Yeah, 3 months. He's like slamming this fucking cop through a deposition for a fucking hour of questions in a courtroom. In a 2.5 hour proceeding. I was just like, it just blew me away because I've just never seen anything like that. We don't even see anything like that really in our group, in our private group. Joey's in there. I mean, we don't see a whole lot of, well, there's some criminal stuff in our private group, but it's mainly civil, but still, it just shocked me,
And we've gone through quite a few different things since the beginning of January when I first met Hayden. And I wanted to kind of just give an interview with Hayden's situation and just kind of go over it and give you a little bit more in depth as far as what Hayden went through. So y'all already kind of know what I do. If you don't, my name is Cameron James Wilson. I help people research to get the information that they need to be able to defend themselves in court in propria persona sui juris or whatever manner you want to do so, and we win. Hayden, how about you go ahead and introduce yourself, brother?
Like Cameron said, my name is Hayden. I live in Southwest Florida. I've known Cam now, like he said, since January. And 13 months ago, I was pulled over and ultimately arrested for obstruction without violence and then a subsequent DUI. I, like most people, most dumb people, did the phone book thing, found an attorney, thought my best interests were going to be looked after, and when it's all said and done, he just suggested that I take the state's plea offer. And since I knew not only was I innocent, but that I didn't do anything wrong, I wasn't willing to accept that. And right around that time is when I found out about Cam. And once I found out about him, saw what he had done, saw what he was doing, I knew that not only was he the best chance for me to help me resolve my situation more favorably, but also to get the outcome that I knew was deserved,
desired, feasible, applicable, all the above, right? Now,
mostly deserved, right? I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. So, right. Yes, certainly desired, but more importantly, deserved.
For sure. Now, when you first came on board, was you skeptical? And if you was, explain why.
The only reason I was skeptical is because I was extremely, I don't want to say ignorant, but it's like they say, jack of all trades, right? And you know a little bit about a lot, but not a lot about a little bit. And I knew a little bit, certainly not enough to feel comfortable walking this path alone, for sure. But not really skeptical about you. I mean, just skeptical in general, because mostly, you know, like I said before,
Well, let me put it
the
like this.
system is not designed to benefit us.
Right. And let's just keep it real. There's a lot of scam artists out there.
There are a lot of scam artists out there. I believe we've been talking about one in particular here lately.
We won't mention any names right now. Okay. So you end up dropping your attorney, and have you ever fought any cases in court before?
Never.
Okay. And you apparently had to start drafting documents, so we kind of worked on those together, right?
That's right.
And did you know how to file those? Had you ever gone and done any procedures as far as court is concerned?
No, definitely not. In fact, you know, when we were going to first file that motion to terminate my counsel, I was planning to do it e-file, and then someone in Wisedome, not exactly sure who it was, I'm sorry, said that they just hand delivered things, and I was like, oh yeah, that's an option. And with the courthouse not being that far, and you know, having certainty that I was actually getting it there, I actually felt more comfortable doing it that way anyways. So
Me too.
that's the only way I filed any paperwork with the court or the state attorney's office. I always hand delivered it.
Perfect. And just before losing thought on this, there was a couple haters out there who made videos on YouTube about you, right?
Yeah. Well, at least one.
At least
I
one.
don't know. There were a lot of haters commenting on
Right.
the video. That's for sure.
Right. And throughout that video, throughout the comments, what did you notice that was most prevalent?
They wanted me to get tased bad.
Hurt, tased, just
Yep.
people who were ignorant, who didn't even know where rights violations are
Just
or
do
occur.
what you're told.
Yeah, just do what you're told. And something, well, I'll go back. So then you had to go into court and actually argue quite a bit, did you not?
Yep.
Okay, and how did that go?
At first, I was anxious, nervous for sure, and I don't want to say I ever lost that anxiety or nervousness, but after the first time, and I will say, and you might probably agree, as would several members in Wisedome, like I had a judge, clerk, whatever you want to call him, who seemed very willing to cooperate with me. So perhaps I lucked out, because you know, like, we've got some people in our group who don't have such cooperative judges. And we've heard a number of assistant DAs really give our people a hard time. Like I said, the judge, clerk, whatever I had, pretty willing to work with me, and perhaps it was in my best interest that the ADA refused to talk to me. You know, like, no real pushback from her in the courtroom, but she wouldn't talk to me at all. But to get back to, you know, the nerves and the anxiety, the more I set foot in there, the more fun I had. Especially when I got
Let me ask you this: when you say the more fun you had, why would you say you had more fun? Was it your confidence? Was it the power? Was it the authority?
Well, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
When you did the live stream of my arresting officer's body cam,
Yeah.
you helped me see my situation in a different light,
Right.
in the right light.
Right.
So it was at that moment where I immediately felt a sense of relief, that things could go my way.
Right.
But it was in the documents that we presented that I had to do a number of edits on. Reading through those gave me an awareness that I didn't have before. And so I learned a lot through that. And then I was able to, put my own flavor on them, which really gave me confidence.
Yep.
And then, like I said, to be able to depose that officer, and I had a number of, if I had to go to trial, I had a number of questions that I did not want to ask him at the deposition that I was holding on to for that.
Yeah, ammo.
But it was really at that point where I was having fun.
Yeah, for sure. Now you say you got to depose him, so you actually, after filing paperwork, had evidentiary hearings, multiple evidentiary hearings.
Right.
I think collectively they ended up being over 3 hours. At one point, you ended up questioning the officer for an hour, in such a phenomenal way, especially for your first time, that I think everybody was drastically impressed, especially how you held control in the courtroom. There are some videos on YouTube for everybody watching here for Hayden's situation. All you got to do is scroll down and see. They're in the videos, and you can listen to his hearings and how well he did. I want to say, after those hearings, did you feel even more confident getting responses from the judge like you had received both orally and in writing?
Well, one thing that I can say, back when I still had my attorney, and before he suggested I take the plea, he said something about getting certain things I said suppressed after Miranda. I asked him when Miranda was, and he couldn't answer that question. Fast forward to me deposing the officer, and essentially after all of that took place, and the judge was giving her feedback on what she observed, she pinpointed Miranda. And that especially gave me a tremendous amount of confidence, because essentially, while I knew he had violated my rights in order to secure the arrest, that basically solidified it.
100%. And then, so she ended up bringing up the aspect of when everything actually should be suppressed, or when there was poisonous fruit from a poisonous tree, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And that was pretty, that was towards the beginning, almost the very beginning of the stop in and of itself. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have been more than
2 minutes.
More than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think
5 minutes at the most.
I don't even think it was that far. But
right,
yeah.
I don't either. I'm being generous.
Yeah. Okay. And then so we ended up getting a response after having both of the evidentiary hearings from the judge, a written response. Yep. And that response wasn't, so some of it was granted as far as what we had requested, but then also it was partially denied. How did that make you feel, and what was you thinking what were your thoughts at that point?
Again, with this being my first time going through this process, and relying on you heavily to be my eyes, right? Because like I had a hard time seeing a path the whole way through. I was enjoying each step, but I would have loved to have been able to see the outcome before it happened. And I know that you maybe didn't see the outcome, but you saw different paths that it could have taken. And we even spoke about that last Wednesday.
Yeah.
With respect to
we were fully prepped to go.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Multiple
Yeah, we were fully
avenues.
prepared. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Just, it's like, as an ex-ball player, when you're on top of your game, right, you can see multiple pitches in. You can see multiple outs down the line. But that's because you have the experience, And it's the same with you. You have the experience. You're able to see the possible outcomes and future scenarios that I sure can't, but I would love to be able to, with the time invested.
Right. So again, with that response though that you got as far as the order is concerned, how did it make you really feel? Was you
confused, mostly confused. Like, it was great, right? Because yes, I went through the process of the evidentiary hearing, in spite of the fact that, my motion to dismiss was denied, but requalified as a suppression hearing, an evidentiary hearing. And so to get a judgment that certain things would be suppressed, I did find to be a win. But again, not knowing what would be available as admissible evidence, I was, again, still a little bit anxious and nervous.
Okay, so even still though, once we got the order back from the judge, we ended up finding that even the order in and of itself had mistakes in it from the judge. Like, there was wrong interpretations and certain things. And so what we do from that point. Yeah, go ahead.
We filed a motion for reconsideration it was 8 days before the hearing, the next hearing that was scheduled. So that would have been about a week and a half after that order was submitted by the judge.
Right.
So we filed a motion for reconsideration, like I said, 9 days before the next hearing was to take place. And the very next day, the state filed their nolle prosequi, which is, when I looked it up, literally means unwillingness to prosecute.
So that pretty much just means everything's been cleared. You're good to go.
I had to confirm with the group first because I wasn't sure I was believing it, but yes. And then the very next day, the court released my bonds. So I knew at that point it was over.
Over. Done deal. Click, clack, pow, done. Now, congratulations to you, by the way. I want to say that first.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's you, bro.
Congratulations to us.
To us. Let's go.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I had to put on a game face that I wasn't entirely sure about playing that game, but I knew I couldn't be passive. Like, I knew I had to be assertive. And
oh, you definitely got assertive. I was gonna say, and then just one more time, bringing it one more time around, you had paid an attorney, and the attorney did what, essentially?
He filed. Okay, so I don't know how it is in other states, but in Florida, if you are arrested for a DUI, you can appeal through a formal review through the DMV. They have the power to overturn the charge. So he filed something on my behalf for the formal review. It was denied, and then he later filed a motion for continuance, which was really unnecessary. Otherwise, he alleges to have spent 56 hours on my case,
Yeah, right.
which he not only refused, but pointed to the contract that says he does not have to disclose that information.
Yeah, it's pretty egregious. I honestly think that we might have to review some things there as far as some ethics violations are concerned. I think it's pretty cold cut and clear that he didn't work 55 hours like he claims, but yeah, we'll have to discuss that a little bit further. Lastly, I don't know if you know this, but I think you do. Brandon Joe Williams had a good amount to say about you in relation.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't. Did you know that, or yes or no?
No. Like, I follow him on Facebook, and I will check in on his videos from time to time when they pop up.
Yeah.
But he's
Well,
I
at
haven't
our
been spending a
sovereignist,
whole lot of time on any of that stuff.
well, at our sovereignist citizen event,
Yeah.
which I think I'll probably host at the beginning of this video, he on day number 2, his opening statement was about you and how we had previously spoken the night before about your first evidentiary hearing and how you killed it. And yeah, I think I'll probably throw that at the beginning of this video because he shouted you out and was definitely like, "Whoa, this is cool. I'm loving it." So
Was that on the second part of your sovereignist citizen?
yeah, day two.
Okay,
yeah.
I don't know if I saw that one yet.
Yeah.
I watched
three's
the
coming
first
up.
one.
Day 3's coming up soon. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to say again, congratulations on everything, man. You're a beast. What's your next steps? What's planned next for Hayden?
I'd like to get a civil suit together. Definitely want to go after my do nothing attorney. I'm considering, I don't know if this is even a possibility. My vehicle was towed from private property. I don't really want to do them harm, but I'd like them to know that they're not supposed to be towing vehicles from private property. So somehow I'd just like to float something across their radar. So maybe they think twice about cooperating with corrupt cops.
Illegal law enforcement actions.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then maybe body cam files.
Oh.
For defamation.
Yeah, some defamation out here. Watch out. That's what's up. Any last closing thoughts?
Just that if you're dealing with, if any of you guys are dealing with not even just a traffic related issue, but I'm only going to speak to the traffic related issues because that's what I had. But, if you're having a legal issue that you are wanting to resolve and you know your rights and you didn't do wrong, you got to give power inherent in the people a shot. You got to check out Wise Dome, because over at Wise Dome we got a lot of people who know a lot, and together we're getting things done.
Yeah, we are.
We've had just over the last week a number of dismissals, like on some big time stuff.
Yeah, big time
stuff.
Yeah. It has been amazing, man. It's pretty empowering, and I'm so happy to see it. And I have to say, Hayden is leading the way, and is definitely an example of what it is to be a true American and stand up and really face the beast, man. I mean, he was in the belly of it and came out victorious, just like so many others. And all I can say is thanks, Hayden. Thanks for trusting.
Thank you.
Thanks for trusting Empowering Here and the people. Thanks for trusting in Wise Dome. And yeah, bro, I'm so happy. So
Me too, mate. Me too.
okay, everybody, appreciate y'all being here with us on this one. We'll see y'all on the next one. Remember, I am you, we are us, and we are all a part of what, Hayden?
The great I am.
See you next time. Bye.